My cousin was a deaf child. One time he went alone to the lake to take feathers from the loons so that he could become a bird. He did not know the stories of the Koala who watched him from under the ice. The Koala started to hum, but my cousin could not hear. He gathered all of the feathers, the loose ones, even the feathers still on the loons, then turned to leave. The Koala grabbed him with her long nails. She shoved him, screaming, into her myuuji and dove into the waters. That's why, in the summer, there are always feathers on the lake. This is a true story, not a tale. Author not recorded, 1883. Why, hello everyone! I'm your lovely host Innocent, and welcome to Floes. This is a nice little, story game, and I'm excited because it looks pretty. And I like scary stories about, thingies and stuff. Anyway, let me tell you a story. This story is about you, but these are not your experiences. Still, I want to hear your voice. You can hear it. I mean, well, not if you're the child in the first story. He's kind of deaf. Anyway, let's start small. Do you prefer a white moon? Don't worry. There are no bad choices here. When you've made up your mind, I'll begin the story. I prefer a blood moon, but you know. You like things just as they are. I won't read too much into that. Okay, settle in and listen. 50 years ago, only a child, you wandered the shoreline in the dark season, as your mother had warned you never to. Your boots anchored to the crunchy snow. This is the shore where, in the summer, your brother had caught his first fish. It hadn't been a whale, but for weeks he acted intolerable with pride. Now there's no one here, no one who could interrupt your own search. It's a can. You don't reach the water before you find what you came for. A labeled can embedded into the earth, impervious to wind and ice. Your heart grows 10 sizes, filled with possibilities. It could be new or too worn. Maybe you already have this one. You seize the can. It's ham. It must be recent because the snow inside inside is soft. Your mouth curls with a small tear on the label, but at least the art is pristine. A smiling Qualunok? A woman offers you canned meat product. Do you toss this one? You consider your options. There could be better cans to take back to the settlement. Consider your options. You toss the can. Your collection has too many labels that stare directly at you. Like they have terrible secrets they want you to share. And it's getting uncomfortable. No more. You declare a ban on printed women. I'm going to just... I don't want to pronounce anything horribly. I'm sorry. Besides, the best cans are found in the water. Down the shore, a dark mass lies still on the floe edge. The chance for another can draws you closer. You step forward, and the ice crunches under your feet. 1. Oh. 2. 3 steps. An unknown other inhabits your body like an unwelcome visitor. It seizes your chest, your mind. You hear an ancient sound. You hear it in your bones. Another night, another story. Your mother tells you a bedtime story about broken shores, cannibals taller than men, fish mothers under the sea. She works in your favorite flourishes, even the silly ones. Her brother feels the woman's long black nails gripping her ankles. Your mother pauses the story. She seems distracted. Black. Green. Blue. Black. Oh, the green ones are for change. Oh. Okay. Then grabs your feet. You jolt like a bearded seal. She got you this time. This is worse than death. Your favorite stories are about Kikuif, because he is as strong as Superman. Brave. She knows this, but she says some stories must be told. My little aunt. You prefer this name over E51X48, but the woman's name for you. You never met your aunt, but your mother compares you to her often. Frost falls from the roof. Sleep comes. Oh, hi. Another night. Another story. Your mother tells you a bedtime story about endless storms, a community without anuses? The origin of narwhals. She works in your favorite flourishes, even the vulgar ones. Her cousin hears a distant hum and runs 10 miles to Rock Tribe. Your mother pauses her story, raises her hands, then resumes where she left off. You expected her to tickle you, or some other unfathomable act. Ever since you became conscious, you lived with weak limbs, pain knees, frequent panic. Pain knees. There's nothing to be done about it. She knows this. She rubs your back each night to console you. It's said that your father shot a caribou and failed to kill it, but that's one person's belief, not a well-liked individual either. The quill warms the house. Sleep comes. Another night. Another story. Your mother tells you bedtime stories about loon tongues, the consciousness of revenge, why the moon is cold. She works in your favorite flourishes, even the melancholy ones. Her aunt sees the woman's hooked nose. Bulbous. Button. I like button nose. Before she slides down the slimy, bottomless walls of the Amatui, your mother pauses her story, leans in closer, then pulls your nose. No, is nothing scarred in this world sacred? I know words. There was a time when she told these stories and didn't describe the Qualupalit. Such details were left for you to envision. Why infringed upon your young imagination? But you listen more, attentively, even eagerly, when she includes them. She knows this, and she adapts the stories. She covers you in blankets. Sleep comes. You hear an ancient sound. You hear it in your bones. 50 years ago, only a child, you encountered the Qualupalik in the dark season, as your mother had hoped you never would. She slowly pulls herself on the flow. You can't turn your head away. The unknown other makes you step forward. 1, 2, 3 steps. You feel terror subside. 4, 5, 6 steps. You realize the truth. It spreads through you until you've always known it, until it is the only thing you've ever known. You feel safe again. Move closer. You hear. You are near enough that she inhabits every sense. She smells like sea rot, or the drowned corpses they sometimes pull from the sea. You are inches from her touch, inches from safety. As she reaches out to take you, the unknown other flees. The frog inside your head clears. The terror you need protection from is before you. You run. But as you turn, severe pain lances your knees. You can't hold yourself up and fall quietly onto the floe, where the ice burns your skin. You prepare to be taken, like in the stories, to become only a warning for the other children. In these last moments, which are always vain, you hope the storytellers say that you had courage like Superman. Quickly, be taken. A moment passes, and another, and the ice still burns your cheeks. No nails embrace you. No amatui covers you. No water drowns you. The ancient sound fades to echoes deep in your memories. You crawl back from the Qualupalik, who paws after you like a caged hound. Her black nails hold onto the ice. Why doesn't she follow you? Take you? You crawl further back. She can reach far. Her face is familiar, comforting. You've seen her button nose 100 times, beneath blankets, near the warm quill. While frost falls from the roof. This is the Qualuplik from your mother's stories. Did you create her with those flourishes? You feel an uncertain connection with her, like distant kin. She doesn't move. She seems wounded. You wonder about the hums. If they're stories she tells children, the oldest stories of all. You stole yourself from her, like a thief would take food. So for her, you're still a different child. That became a little tense. Let me tell you a joke. What do you call a penguin? In that place right there. Lost. I didn't come up with that. I found it on the internet. One of those great websites that has animated pictures. Settle in. I'll continue the story. 50 years ago, only a child, you set up a fox trap in the dark season, as your father had never taught you to. The steel is colder than the ground. You found this trap under the house, where time and disuse buried it in the frost. Sometimes hunters take them out on the land and return with bundles of animals to sell. The levers took a while to puzzle out, but now it's ready. Near the settlement, the dog whimpers and howls in their chains. You never heard them less and less. You've heard them less and less. Most children are at school. The Qualunak idles and in the claustrophobic spaces created by the plywood houses. You never go near them. They only smile on labels. He hoards the best comics in his hand. Superman. The cover shows Superman having some trouble with the Qualunat. Sometimes he doesn't wear Qualunat clothes to hide his Krypton origins, and this gets them thoroughly flustered. You seize the comic, trying not to tear the pages. As you turn to run, the Qualunat's face contorts into a caricature. Words are not my strong point today. I am so sorry. Of rage, his brows curved like knives, a nose scrunched so close to his forehead that he becomes an old man. Run. The Qualunat chases after you. Already your knees are aflare with each impact. Every step could be the moment your body abandons you. You push out thoughts of the Qualunat tackling you, pummeling you, telling the police. As you pass between the houses towards the shore, the Qualunat follows you over the hill. You can't run anymore. You lower yourself to the ground, the most you can manage, and watch the Qualunat run towards you. 1, 2, 3 steps. The Koala is near. 4, 5, 6 steps. Let me tell you a story. This is a story about the hill you trapped the Koala on. It is an old story. No one alive knows the people involved. I read it in a journal kept by an anthropologist who didn't record the other performer's name. 200 years ago, beneath the cold moon, 5 hunters turned into dogs to go out onto the land. One hunter is crippled. She limps on a lame paw. She keeps up with the pack until they find a bear, so quick it leaves no tracks. They chase the bear day and night, and the lame dog falls behind. The 4 dogs surround the bear, bark and snap and bare their teeth. But the 4 of them alone can't slow it down. The shadow underneath the bear grows and grows as it leaves the ground. The bear reaches this hill, where it shouts up to the sky. The 4 dogs follow. All at once, they become luminous and chase the bear across the stars, the lame dog forever behind. Why did I tell you this story? It's hard to say. The silences in the records leave many holes. Why did the dogs leave their friend behind? What did the performer want us to feel? Did the polar bear have a cute little nose? We'd have to live centuries ago. In that time and place, hear the subtle shifts in the tone of the performer's voice, see their arms wave and feel as their feet stomp. It wouldn't be enough for us to inhabit the anthropologist's mind, because, in their beliefs, it didn't matter who performed the story or how. The performer's words were salvaged from culture thought to be near extinction. So when we hear this story, we have to breathe into it our own modern fears and lonelinesses. Let me tell you what I think. I think the corruption chased their engineered warmth north, where the endless sun gave them new avenues for profit. The bear knew when to get out. The dogs, being hunters and not shareholders, left their friend behind because no one wants to starve. I think the crippled hunter had no choices left after the wealthy development of the environment around her constructed it, defined her worth solely by if she could kill a bear or not. And I think in the distance between those stars isn't the distance of space, get it? But a warning about the future, to understand the history behind the social distance between us. But those are my TD's beliefs. Maybe the stars are ostriches. What future do I create when I tell tragedies? Here's what matters. When you trapped the Koala, you hadn't heard the history of that hill, so you couldn't imagine the futures. We can't know how you might have looked into the story like a mirror or turned away. Maybe this future will work out fine. The police don't find out. Used to justify abuse? Maybe not. But in this story, your story, you always trap the Koala. 50 years ago, only a child, you ensnare the Koala in the dark season, as your parents had never known you would. You try to remember how you originally imagined this situation. Did the Koala pass out, bow down to declare you his superior? You're not sure how you get him to the shore. The Koala struggles in the trap. A thought comes. What if he wants to be dragged under the sea to live forever with a woman who smells like sea rot? You decide to ask. You shout after the Koala. The nails aren't so bad, and you get used to the smell of fish. He doesn't respond. Some folks can't be reasoned with. You have some leverage, because surely he wants to know the ending to the Superman comic in your hands. Also, there's a rock by your feet. Do you persuade him? Knock him out? Persuade him. You wave the Superman comic in the air and hope it doesn't come across like a taunt. The Koala slides out of his trapped boot and limps after you. You drop the comic and run towards the shore. You make it to the floe edge. Your knees scream at you. The Koala close behind. Frozen platforms lead out to the sea. You close your eyes and leap. When you land on the floe, the wet ice cracks under your boots. You slip and slam onto the platform. Behind you, the Koala is determined to follow. You pick yourself up and leap. Crack. You and the Koala advance into the sea, one floe at a time. Crack. 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 "50 years ago, only a child, the Koala took you beneath the floes as you had never known you wanted. Sometimes, when your brothers come to fish, you tap on the ice beneath his feet, wondering if he knows it's you. You watch him grow old without you and pass on. The wound feels fresh on your ageless skin, but as decades pass, you feel safer under the sea than in the settlement. The Koala takes care of you, loves you, and you grow close with the children she captures. You bury your toes into the seafloor and settle in for a tale. The Koala, old as time, always has more stories." Our tales are narratives of human experience, and therefore they do not always tell beautiful things. But one cannot both embellish a tale to please the hearer and at the same time keep to the truth. The tongue should be the echo of that which must be told, and it cannot be adapted according to the moods and the tastes of man. Or Sequak to Ramanus, that guy, echo. Well, that was Beneath the Floes. It's gonna continue on. It's a never-ending story. Woo! I like these stories, and I like tales from other cultures and countries, and I really want to read some for you guys. I really just want to take like a day or something, or once a month, or do something and just read tales from other countries. Be it fairy tales or old wives' tales or what have you. Probably creepy tales. Probably. Just saying. Those are the more interesting ones. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this. You guys should go play this and tell me what your ending was, because this probably wasn't the only ending. Just saying. Oh, I'm so excited. I really do want to go and play this again, but I have things to do and I can't do that, and it makes me sad that I can't. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope to see you all so very soon. Peace out. Bye-bye.